Well, hello and welcome to Heaven's Mopars. Monday, April 13th. I couldn't work on the car yesterday because I had to build a front porch that I promised to my wife. Got that done. Now it's time to work on doing patch pieces. I got all of the debris out of here, all of the metal that wasn't necessary. So now I have to clean up all my edges and clean up all this excess metal and all that fun stuff. Get rid of sharp edges so I don't rip my clothes completely apart. But today I only got about an hour or so I'm going to try to make a patch piece for right there. This measures at 20 gauge and this metal here is 19, so it's close enough. It's a little bit thicker than this, so I guess that's good, a good thing. It'll work. Here, what I'm thinking is maybe cut halfway up on that lip, because you can see right here where it's rotted, and then here and cut about right there, over, down, you know, to the edge of here. To figure out the length, slide it over at the edge of that hole right there, just bring it straight across and mark it right there. Well, that was fun. Instead of using those tin snips to cut the metal, a long time ago I bought this thing from Bailey, and it's a slip roll brake cutter, whatever. Never used it before until just now. Check this out. But this handle rolls, but you stick your metal down there. I think it's very heavy. And that goes up and down when you twist it. Stick your metal in there. I had to stand on this because it's not mounted. And I was like, how hard do you have to pull? And it cut right through it. Yeah, I thought it might make my life a little easier. What I'll do next is hold this up. I need two hands to do this. Lift that up a little bit and then draw a line on this edge here. And that'll give me a guide to go by to make a straight edge when I cut that. And I hope I do a good job. And I've never done all this before. I'm learning as I go, but I'm just telling you the mistakes I've made, and once you see them, you'll say, don't do those. Don't do it like how he just said it. We'll try that line right there. I'll cut below it, and hope that works. Yeah, watch out, Rusty. Don't get loud. How stressful. Someday I'll get the right tools. Here I am doing precision work with a demo tool. With a wheel that's all burnt up. It's the last one I have. I need to go buy another one so I could be out here instead of getting in there and the guards getting in the way and twisting and turning it and all that fun stuff. But as I get up here, you know, once you get to there, you want to start cutting into that piece, which is a no-no. So I barely nicked it there, but I still have that much more to cut. So I'll figure that out. Well, me. That's all, folks, for today. If you don't know what that was all about, it was Porky Pig from the Looney Tunes back in the 70s and 80s. This is what I got done today so far. Looks pretty good for the most part. I just need to, this has a slight bend in it. I need to bend it upwards. And I only got one hand trying to film it. My first time using that doohickey, and I also have a metal brake and an English wheel. Never used either of them. I just used that one trying to get the small edge here, and it slipped halfway out on me and it was all crooked. So I put it under there and tried to cut the sliver off of it. That was fun. Just taking my grinder and fine tuning it, but I'll finish that later because I gotta go. So that's all I got done today. Oh yeah, I had to use my other crude demo tool, and I cut the rest out up here. Like an idiot, I kept going because my line went all the way to the end. I could have stopped right here, but now I gotta weld that up. So lesson learned there, don't do that. So yeah, I cut through here to get this metal out inside of that corner. So yeah, but now I gotta go. Have a good day, buddy. I love you. I'll be back. It's the 15th of April, 2026. I have a duster to work on. It's always haunting me. It's going, come on. No name nationals. It's a reminder. And there's the grill for my duster. I sent the title and the paperwork to Steven. He's going to go ahead and take care of all of that so that when he comes up and we do the mad dash and get it all together, he can put plates on it and all that fun stuff. Might take a couple times, but we'll get this car together. Today, I only have about an hour or two to work. This is where I left off, and so what I was going to do next is just draw out on this so I can cut it and then shape it so that it resembles the overlap of this right here. Hang on, see if I can pinch that in there with my leg. I got an idea. I guess I did learn something from my dad. He said he goes, you gotta be smarter than what you're working with. Okay, so I got it clamped into place. I just stuck it into that corner there. What I'm gonna do is draw a line right across here on where to cut it. That line, get my fingers out of the way. Where it makes this curve right here, I'll come out to right there. And then basically I can mark it here, put the fold there, basically come all the way up, and then meet that line there. And not sure how I'm gonna do this part with a fold in it yet, where this part drops down. Maybe I'll make a cut right in here so that I can, maybe I'll do that. Don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm figuring it out as I go. And then I'll make this other fold where it drops down right here. And then I'll take that width and put it on there somewhere. I just have to remember that this line here is not a cut line, it's a fold line. That's where I want to fold it. I'll measure from here to here, about the width of the tip of my pen. And I'll just bring that down here, from there to there. That's basically right on, maybe a little bigger. I'll leave a little for extra, I guess. So this will be my cut line. And I'll bring it all the way up to here. Same thing, tip of the pin plus a little bit, which is about right here. And I'll just basically call that good. That'll be my cut line. And before I forget, I do not want to cut along this line either. I want to go beyond it because it goes underneath here so that you have something to do your plug welds into, because this isn't butted up right there. It still has part of the metal underneath there since it was cut through, and but it goes basically from about here on up to about that dot right there. That's what it looks like underneath. So what I'll do is I'll mimic that and transfer it onto here. And how I will do that is simply about the other side of all these marks right there. I'll just measure with my measuring tape about the tip of the marker, or where it starts coming up at an angle, about right there where my fingernail is. I'll take that mark, transfer it over to here, go from there to there, just visualize where it's at. Go from there, see how far I was off, about right on, right where that is. Then from there come up this much, about that flat spot in my pen roughly. Come up from this corner, there's a spot there, and then I'm heading straight over this way. So, and then so from that corner there over to about there and down. So it'll look like that, and then I can put my plug welds in it. Maybe I'll use my tin snips instead. Kind of hard to cut with a wheel that's like gone. Nice straight cut. Not. There's a will, there's a way. Where's the right way? I don't know. Like I said, I'm still learning. So thank you so much, Steven, for trusting me. I think he knows the work I do. May not be like top grade, but I think I do a decent job, especially for a beginner. It's just a matter of learning and acquiring the right tools. So if I can do it with primitive tools and not knowing what I'm doing, I'm sure that anybody with the right tools can do it. So if I'm eliminating excuses, so can you. Okay, what I'll do next is cut this mark here so I can bend these down. Now I gotta bend these back. Just take a pair of pliers. Not sure how I'm going to do this yet with that curved part. The straight part is easy. I can throw that in the vise. I'll do that now. What I basically did was put it halfway on the line, below the line. Probably should have checked, but it is what it is. See how far off I am with my angle, or the width of it. Well, I gotta hammer that back. If anything, I might give lots of people hope. To the pros out there, you can shake your heads. It's understandable. We all have to start somewhere. When I line things up, but my fold is off, I do need to make this a crisp 90 on there. Kind of like in there, because I have more of a gentle curve in the corner. That might bring this back a little bit more, but I'm kind of off on the curve. So what I'm thinking about doing, sorry I got my gloves on, is bend this back out and then come back a little further so that it'll line up with this. You can see where I'm just, unless if I'll try bringing this, making that a sharper corner, and maybe it'll bring it back more. I'll try that before I straighten it out again. See if I can get it matched a little closer. Well, that helped quite a bit. It looks better at least. However, my line is still off. I'm over here, so I need to figure that out, redo it. So what I'm gonna do is put it in the vise, drop it down a little, and then clamp it closed and see if that changes my line any. See if that works. Well, that's a lot closer. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Guess it doesn't matter the path we take to get there, it's the end result that matters. So next I'll take my pliers and fold this other part down right here. Well, I thought it was recording, but it wasn't. Now that I just finished, I just took my pliers and start from that edge back, keep working my way out to this relief cut there. And so now what I'll do is use my hammer on the vise and try to hit it the rest of the way. I basically hammered that down and to kind of get closer to where I want to be. I need to fine tune it a little more, but this is just checking and double checking and all that fun stuff to make sure that, you know, I'm kind of on the right track. Need to define that edge a little more, but I'm getting there. But now it's basically time for me to go. To be continued. Whatever it takes to get things done, even if it's an hour a day, every little bit helps. Sure beats wasting that hour. So, we got deadlines. It's another Mopar day. That was easy. Thanks for watching.